So finally, we get to see the list of people who were named in Jeffrey Epstein's court filing. The list of names of people who were alleged to have had intercourse with these underage girls. And of course, some of them were not involved in this SA allegation. However, their names came up. News Nation did the reporting on this story. Let's take a listen to what they have to say.
Back to that trove of court filings connected to the late billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Those pages released overnight, the more than 900 pages of documents from Virginia Giuffre's defamation suit against Epstein and his former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, offering new insights on old allegations of sex abuse.
And it's also revealing more people linked to the disgraced financier, many of whom had already been made public. We were expecting some of these names. Some of them we weren't. The names of those mentioned in court documents range from politicians, you've got entertainers, some of the nation's most rich and powerful, people like Presidents Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, like Adrian mentioned off the top. The king of pop, Michael Jackson, also mentioned a couple times, along with celebrity magician David Copperfield and Hollywood star Leonardo DiCaprio. But of course, just to reiterate this morning, you have to make it clear, people are in the documents for a variety of reasons, even as simple as their name came up in a random question. Dre Clark is live in New York with more on these documents. Dre, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we're finally seeing the first set of documents with more on the way in the weeks to come. But as expected, there are some pretty high profile names listed in those 900 plus pages of court documents that were released last night. Names like former Presidents Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, along with Prince Andrew. That's just a few in a long list of many. Now, many of these names belong to individuals who had already been publicly connected to Jeffrey Epstein as his longtime associates or friends. This list does not imply that everyone listed is accused of wrongdoing or illegal and immoral behavior. The unsealed names were mentioned in court documents for various reasons as part of a civil lawsuit brought by Epstein's alleged victim, Virginia Giuffre, who sued Epstein and his partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, for sexual abuse. Giuffre claims Epstein and Maxwell pursued her as a teenager to engage in sexual relationships with powerful men like Prince Andrew. The prince is mentioned 67 times in the unsealed documents, and although he denies Giuffre's allegations, he settled a lawsuit with her out of court. Former President Bill Clinton is mentioned at least 50 times in the filings, but nowhere does it say he did anything wrong or illegal. Mr. Clinton has acknowledged he used Epstein's private jet for trips overseas, but denies he's ever been to Epstein's private island in the Caribbean or had any contact with young girls. One document says in a deposition taken under oath in 2016, one of Epstein's victims said Epstein once told her that, quote, Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. Former president was never criminally investigated as part of his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, so at this point, it's hearsay at best. Former President Donald Trump also listed a few times, but there is no reference of any illicit behavior. Meanwhile, another unsealed document features an email that appears to be from Epstein to his fixer Ghislaine Maxwell, asking about trying to pay off Giuffre's family and friends to refute her allegations that Stephen Hawking participated in an underage sex act. Hawking was seen in pictures with Epstein in 2006 on his private island. Also, famous attorney Alan Dershowitz, who helped the disgraced financier get a sweetheart plea deal, is named 137 times. Dershowitz pushed hard for all of the court documents to be released to clear his name. Giuffre claimed Dershowitz was one of the men who sexually abused her and that he was an eyewitness to the sexual abuse of many other minors by Epstein. Claims he strongly denied and sued Giuffre for. She later acknowledged she may have made a mistake in identifying him.
You just have to wonder who got to her, because if he had SA encounters with her on several occasions, she remembers him. There's no way she would forget the face, not when it was multiple times. But I wonder who got to her for her to change her mind.
Many other minors by Epstein. Claims he strongly denied and sued Giuffre for. She later acknowledged she may have made a mistake in identifying him as one of her abusers. Now, Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to sex acts against children in 2008, and again was given a sweetheart deal of only 13 months in custody. He died in 2019 by suicide while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges.
His suicide was questionable for good reason, because everyone knew a lot of very important men would be out in the limelight and they would be exposed. And so his suicide was very convenient for everyone because they were trying to keep this on the wraps. And that list was never supposed to come out. It was alleged that someone got to him and they didn't want him to talk and be under oath and state exactly what happened. All these important people who were visiting the island and jetting down there to meet these underage girls, but he already had given a list to the feds and made a statement. This is why the list is coming out now, so they could not silence Jeffrey Epstein. His life may have been taken either by his hand or someone else. However, they could not stop the flow of those documents, that list of names coming out.
Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2021 for her crimes involving young girls in sex acts. And again, this doesn't really end here. There are many more documents that we are expecting to see in the days and weeks to come, and that includes more names.
So I know the powers that be are shaking in their boots right now, wondering if their names are on the list. All those who were jetting down to that island to have their encounters with these underage girls. Although they tried to silence his voice, the list still came out. I guess they are lawyering up and bracing themselves for what's to come because this train has taken off and it's not stopping. It's a locomotive that is not stopping. The feds are coming and get every last one of them, and they've got to now prove their innocence. Since the unsealing of court documents, what I was disappointed in, though, was that Bill Clinton's name was on that list. I'm not surprised Michael Jackson's name was on the list. However, I was surprised that Bill Clinton made that list. And of course, we know about Prince Andrew. That wasn't a surprise either because his name came out last year. And he allegedly paid the young woman off to drop the lawsuit. So according to ABC News, hundreds of sealed court filings pertaining to the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein are set to be made public this week, and several prominent names, including Britain's Prince Andrew and former President Bill Clinton, are expected to appear on the documents. So disappointed in that Bill Clinton. So U.S. District Judge Loretta Prescott ruled earlier this month that there was no legal justification for continuing to conceal the ex-president's name and more than 150 names other John and Jane Does mentioned in the record. So Judge Prescott ordered the unsealing to begin after January 1st. So now there's a slew of documents coming out. 900 pages came out today. And all this week, we're going to have more documents coming out and going forward. But we see in the filing and in the exposure of these documents today, where not only men, but women are also implicated. So we have women predators also. So those are the new developments with the Epstein release documents. More are going to come out, more heads are going to roll, more embarrassment for high officials. So on that note, I'm over and out. I'm going to see you all on the next one. Don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for watching.